I know I'm not the only young person out there who thinks that they know what they want in life, who thinks that they are secure in their position, and who thinks that the future holds good things for them. I still believe all that to be the case, but the past week or two has been a really eventful time, and I've learnt a lot. It's actually been one of those periods for me where I've sat there and a few moments have changed my entire perception on everything that I've done in life. It's literally changed the way that I've lived, that I live now, and what I look for in the future. A lot of the videos that I make on this channel are intended to be lessons and kind of diaries. Perhaps lessons for other people and diaries for myself. And this is one of those weeks, one of those moments where an awful lot of things have changed. Now, it's not sad at all, it's actually very good. I've learnt a lot, and I've actually increased and improved my life status a lot. Really, I have. But I'm going to explain why, how, and what the change looks like, so that hopefully you guys who think that you have everything figured out like I do/did will not make the same mistakes that I have. So I'm going to start off with a little bit of context about me, just quickly. I run my own businesses, I do YouTube, eBay, and a lot of other stuff as well. And this has been the case basically forever. Not necessarily the same businesses, but I've been making money online for a very long time. And it's been good. It is good. It still is very good. But the past week has changed my perspective because I've always felt very secure in that position, and I still do, but I've learnt a lot. So first I need to explain what's happened, right? The past month or so, my car has blown up, the engine's just completely gone, right? Car had to be scrapped for basically nothing, because it was more to replace. There was more to repair than it was to replace, and it wasn't the best car anyway. If it was like a classic or something, I'd have fixed it. So that got scrapped for hundreds of pounds. Bear in mind, I've spent thousands of pounds buying it and fixing it, and now it's gone for scrap, for nothing. Basically nothing. And for a new car, I had to find the money as well, which was not that difficult. And actually, the car that I've got now is quite a lot nicer, to be honest. It's a lot bigger. It's a lot more reliable, it seems to be at least, but it's more money, right? It's thousands of pounds. I think it was near £20,000 all in. I went away for a couple of days, which was an interesting insight, right? I went away with this girl. I learned a lot about life, about what adult life could be in a way, where I could live, what that life could look like, and all that sort of stuff, right? And also I've had a lot of work to do in the front of not only my businesses, but also university work, right? So, just the pressures of life. Not really anything too big, but still big enough to challenge my understanding. Because what I've learned in the past week or so is, you're not ever as secure as you think you are. And I know for a lot of older people watching this, that might just be obvious news, right? Things can change. But I always thought, in my control are things like money, are things like, to a degree, happiness, and outside of my control are, to an extent, health, the feelings, emotions, and health of those around me, what the weather's like, all that sort of stuff. But I learned this week that to be genuinely secure financially, emotionally, and in every other element and realm of life, it takes a lot more staying power than I ever thought, right? And I think a lot of young people can learn from this, because the lesson that I've learned is this. We seem to think that we have everything figured out, and we won't realise that we don't, and I didn't realise I don't, right? I'm holding my hands up here, right? With honesty. I didn't realise what I didn't know until I had to face it. And what do I mean by this? I mean, okay, I've got savings still, right? I've still got a lot of savings, but having to spend best part of £20,000 on cars, I didn't have to, but if you want a car, then you had to. It's not that nice. And it can change your financial standing quite a bit, right? There's other things that don't necessarily need to be covered in this video, so I want to really focus on the financial element, but also the emotional element of the fact that it is all just a lot to manage. And we don't realise how wrong things can go until they go wrong. This has really changed my perspective on everything. Before this, I really felt very secure in the fact that life is what it is, and it will continue to be that for a long time. Or it can continue to be that. What I've learned is, I can really make a full-time living doing my own businesses. This is true, I think. And I still think this to this day, even after seeing what I've seen. But when things are going well in life, and when we get a degree of, I suppose the real word is arrogance to how amazing we are, just because a few things happen to have lined up, we take our foot off the pedal, right? And we start to slow down. We don't work as hard, we don't try as hard, we don't try new things. And that's kind of the thing that got me kind of in the mess that I was, right? It would have been a lot less of a problem in every realm if I'd have been putting in 110% effort. So that, you know, when you have to spend £20,000, it's not that big of a deal. So when you have all of these things to look at and deal with, you've managed them to the best of your abilities. And quite frankly, I don't think I did in all realms. So what have I done to change this? Well, I really think it's one of those things where you have something happen to you once, and it's that much of a wake-up call, it can never happen again. Round about 4 years ago, I had the inverse experience where I really thought I could never achieve anything in life, right? Like, seriously, it was bad. And I felt terrible because of that. Because imagine if you could never do any of your dreams, achieve any of your dreams, make anything happen. That's depressing. But then it happened, and I was able to improve life, and I've got to the position that I am, right? Even now, I'm not going to say that I'm doing bad. The car that I've bought is, I think, quite nice. Like, I could have bought a much cheaper car, I'm not going to lie. I got the car that I wanted. It's a nice car. But also, it comes with costs, right? As does everything. And because I think I had that period of picking myself up and thinking that I was very, very strong, and I think I am, but still, you then get to a point where it's like, well, nothing can faze me. Until it really does. And I'm so glad I've experienced this. If I'm really honest, the best times in my life for results, not necessarily for happiness, I'm not going to lie, but for results, have been the difficult times, right? I started the eBay selling, big B in the air, despite the fact it's autumn. I started my eBay selling journey when I needed to make money, because my other YouTube channel, the one that I don't run anymore, wasn't really getting the views. I started the YouTube channel before the eBay because I didn't have any money, right? And my other YouTube channel before that, the niche had kind of dried up. So basically, in the worst periods, I had the best results. And in the past week, that's been true. Because although I've had all these things happen over the past month, the past week has been the point of realization where life really will be this difficult forever if I don't change things now. And already I have, to a point where I'm coming along, I think, in results, right? So, my eBay journey, I've been listing 30 items a day, roughly, for the past week or so. Sales are booming. YouTube, I'm starting to get back on now. I'm going to be filming a lot of videos in a row, but I can't say, no offense guys, but I can't say it was my priority. I had some big things to deal with. But yeah, get back on that grind. I've also applied for a job, and got the job, by the way, that's important to know. And I know some people might say at this point, if you watch until the end, I do appreciate you guys. Why would you get a job? You've always said I don't want to work a 9 to 5, it's not for me. There is a reason. It's not that my businesses are failing. Actually, they're doing really well, considering how hard I've been going at them for the past week. It's for two reasons. Number one, I've learned how insecure life is up to a certain point, right? 2 incomes is never going to be a bad thing. Number two, it's going to push me even harder to do my businesses. And number three, it's going to give me a routine. And I can explain those 2 points together. If I'm at work, let's say for argument's sake, 9 to 5, 5 days of the week, 6 days of the week, and even if I like it, right, there's going to be days like today where even now we're coming into autumn, we've got this lovely sunshine, and I'm on the bike. And there's going to be days that I want to do that I can't. But I know that my businesses can free me to do that. When you don't feel the need to push hard on them, you really don't. And having the kind of juxtaposition between a hard life in a way, it's not difficult, but a hard life in work versus the relative ease that could be provided by listing items or doing videos for maybe 3-4 hours a day, it's going to teach me a lot, right? It's going to teach me a lot. The job that I have is in sales, which is going to be a great skill not only for my own businesses, but potentially for future jobs. And again, it's a great opportunity to stack money, because what I've learned in the past week or so, it really is, you're never as invincible as you think. You know, I've started hitting the gym much harder. I've been waking up at 6 a.m. And what's my point here for this video? Because this one might sound like a bit of a rant or a weird topic or just a diary entry, because that's kind of what it is, right? I make these videos not only for you guys as entertainment, but also as a diary log in a way for you and myself. So if there's a lesson here, that's great, but I've learned a lesson. It's also something that I want to document. The point is, you know, you can take your eye off the ball sometimes when things are going well. And that's always the periods where excellence starts to slip, in my opinion. Now, what excellence looks like for different people, I don't know. Different things for different folks, isn't it? But for me, it is a case of having a lot of money or enough money to live a very comfortable life, having freedom, having friends, social connections, and achieving my personal aims. And I really think that having an extra 5, 10, 15, 20, 30,000 pounds coming in a year, something like that, would get me there, right? Because I know a lot of people have said, oh, well, you're not going to make enough money to live in the UK. Well, look, I love the UK. It's my country of birth, obviously. I speak with an English accent, whatever. But the point is this, right? When winter comes, it's not pleasant in the UK, and I'm already dreading it now, because although it's really sunny and in the sun it is warm, I'm in the shade and it's cold, right? It's going to be dark soon. Winter in the UK is awful. So is it even my ambition to long term live in the UK, or at least for the full year? Well, if it's not, I'm going to need even more money, right? Having an online income is going to be great for that, but you're going to want to have a lot of savings too. Also, I don't know what can go wrong in the next year or two, but that's kind of what I've learned, right? You just don't know what can change, what can go wrong. And I don't know if there's any advice that I'd really give on that other than just sharing my story, you know. If you ever find yourself in a position where you think you're comfortable and you can take your eye off the ball, look, in terms of money, if it's not millions maybe, or hundreds of thousands at least, but probably millions, you're probably not in that position, right? Really, you're probably not, because, I don't know, car could break like mine did, could have issues with a house, whatever, anything can change. And now it's my mission to make sure that I'm in a point where not only I have a false sense of security that I'm doing okay, but that I really am, right? Hitting the gym hard, making as much content as I can, doing as many listings, trying out some new videos for Patreon, trying out some new businesses. I want to go to bed every night now thinking I'm doing the best I can, right? And what's that looking like now? Honestly, it's looking like a bit of sacrifice. Because now I'm not doing an hour's worth of eBay listings. You know, I'm doing 4, 5, 6, editing videos into the night. Work, you know, job. And I'm not hating anything, right? Actually, everything's been a really humbling and eye-opening experience that I am so glad that I have had. But I've also learned that sometimes to do things for your future self, it may involve sacrificing a little bit of current life. And for me, it is now worth making that sacrifice to create the life that I want long term. I really do believe, maybe I am still, I don't know, deluded, but I really do believe that this YouTube channel could have 100,000 subscribers in the next 2, 3, 4, 5 years. I really do believe that I could be making, whether it's from YouTube, eBay, Patreon, something new, all of them. I really do believe that I could be making 100k a year by myself in the next 5, 6 years. But it's not going to happen for itself, by itself. And that's what I've learned, I guess. I know it might sound like a obvious point, right? But we all learn different things. And I know for a lot of the 30, 40-year-olds, 50-year-olds watching, it's going to be like, well, you know, work hard, get a head in life in some way, and have the life that you want. But look, I know a lot of young people. I've got friends, obviously. I've got young family members, whatever. And a lot of young people don't know this or feel like this. Because, I'm not going to lie, I know it might sound patronising in a way, being as I am that age myself, but I guess when you're young, my age, you do in a way feel invincible. But then problems can stack up so quickly. And you may not have the expertise, experience, or skills, or resources to deal with them. And in a way, I'm so glad that I had the chance to see that, experience that, and feel what that feels like. Like I say, I've done more for myself and my life's progression in the past week or so than I've probably done for the last 6 months. And that's just honesty. Because necessity breeds invention, or whatever the phrase is. And yeah, that's what I've learned. So, just a little bit of a reflection here today. Not necessarily the sort of video that I usually make, but kind of it is, because I've gone back to the old just me filming and talking method. I am still going to be doing a lot of the edited videos, but at the minute, you know, if I'm staying true to my goals, my aims, I'm trying to get content out there, right? Trying to get a message out there. And to do that quickly, or relatively quickly, is going to be a lot more of this content for now. So thank you for watching until the end if you did. I hope I'll see you again soon. Goodbye for now, guys. Take care.